We want you to buy our beans because we feel we have a better product. We farm with my wife, Monica, and our two sons. They both went to South Dakota State. One has a civil engineering degree, the other one has a construction engineering degree. They both said they were never going to farm, and now they're back farming. And it's good. I'm glad to have them back. It's nice to pass something on to somebody that's interested in doing it. So it looks like our operation will continue for another few decades. My great-grandfather came to this country in 1881 and homesteaded south of here. And I actually was able to buy that piece of property from my cousin in an auction. So now I have the same land that my great-grandfather started. The fall before, we had a very difficult harvest. We had a lot of rain. I think we had the last soybean fields, we had to let them freeze up before we could get them harvested. Our yields weren't that good last year. We had problems with white mold. We had lots of different issues. It wasn't that we didn't have enough rain. I think we had too much rain. Now this last year, the season started out like it was going to be dry, and then we got a wet spell, so we couldn't get our corn planted. I think we stopped planting corn somewhere about the middle of May. But prior to that, any field that dried up that we were going to plant the soybeans, we stopped planting corn and planted soybeans. So we were switching the planter back and forth a lot. Beans went in relatively good, and then it just kept continually getting drier. We planted until the deadline basically, which was June 10th, and then we quit planting soybeans. We ended up planting a half of our soybeans that we normally plant. I'm very fortunate. I have two sons that are very technologically advanced. They both know how to write programs for variable rate seeding, for variable rate fertilizing. The one son writes all the programs for us, and they feed that into the computer, so it knew everything that happened on this field up to harvest. They use their education.
I didn't want an office job. I'd rather be outside working on a farm and be back on the farm. When I was a little kid, you'd hop in the tractor and you'd look down to the end of the field, you'd point at something and you'd drive straight towards it. Now it's going towards technology where you hop in the tractor and you follow a geographic heading and you set it and you don't touch the steering wheel anymore. And I think the technology has made us become better farmers because we are more precise in what we do from our day-to-day activities.
The technological advances that I've seen from when I started driving a tractor, there was no auto steer, and now everything is, there's a lot of automation to it. A lot of technology goes into it. Going forward, there's only room for advancement in that. And different biotech traits that go into the corn and soybeans. I think soybeans have a huge potential for a huge leap here in the next decade. Those are some of the big things that have already come through in the last 10 years, and I think only have room for greater improvement.